how you guys doing today? So I wanted to start with the Super Bowl, of course. The Super Bowl is all the rage. But before we jump in, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Nico Nicole, and this is Give This Girl a Mic. Each week we do political commentary, social commentary on the things that's going on in and around the world. And so I just want you guys to, join me on all the cultural commentary that is happening right now. And amongst that is the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is such a big topic right now. We're going to jump right in to that. Here we go. Let me play that for you guys. This is going to be, you'll see Cardi B with Bad Bunny. They did their Super Bowl thing together. It was really cool. But that's one of the images you can see there. It's her, Jessica Alba. There was a few people who were actually at the event that I didn't even notice that was there. So it was really cool to see, especially Cardi get her shine because our girl deserved it. Like she has been trying to do her thing for such a long time, and for her to finally come into her own, and just be on the Super Bowl stage, it was like such a milestone, especially for the Dominican culture, for the Puerto Rican culture, for the Latin American culture, for them to have their moments. It was a really beautiful, dope situation with Bad Bunny. I feel like out of all the Super Bowl experience that I've seen in a while, like he really put on for his city. I don't know if you guys know the history. I talked about the history of the Super Bowl last year on this page when I kind of did this recap. I talked about how the Super Bowl actually started with Living Color, the Wayans brothers. So they did a halftime special, which they wanted you to turn from. They were trying to figure out they were on Fox, so they're trying to figure out how could Fox get those NBC or wherever it was, CBS viewers to their page. So during the halftime, they did a halftime special. When it was so boring at the halftime over there, with the Super, they had bands and schools and things like that, but it wasn't like real funky. So they did their own halftime special with like guest appearances and skits, and you know how they do. So after that happened, they basically were like, okay, we need to monetize this because, as you know, Fox has done that time and time again. They're currently doing that with Tubi. Fox owns Tubi, and so they're using black eyes and black viewership to get people over to Tubi. Clock it. So neither here nor there. So in the meantime, that's what they did. They end up using black people, and their first person to supersede that the next year, they were like, we're not going to let that happen again. So they end up going to get, guess who could shut it down like no other and have every eyeball in the world look at them? Michael Jackson. So they went and used Michael Jackson so that the black eyeballs will be back on them again. So that's how they end up taking and making the Super Bowl what it is today. And obviously they're still using Jay-Z. And they use Jay-Z obviously to supersede the Kaepernick thing because too many eyeballs was on that. So they have used black people and culture in general, black and brown bodies, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, the list goes on, to, funnel success whenever like the ratings are down. So Bad Bunny bringing the biggest viewership in the history of the NFL's halftime special is no surprise to me because that's what black and brown people do. We show up, we show out, and when our eyeballs are attached, it always brings the dollar bills for these big rig networks. So not only was it a beautiful homage to Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, it was also really dope to see my girl Cardi, because I'm a Cardi girl. I was a Nicki girl too, but y'all know I did a video about that. She pissing me off. And because before Cardi was Nicki, before Nicki it was Kim. So I'm a rap girly girl. So I love them all, but every dog has his day, and we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, Cardi in the meantime, in between time, she did have some other issues going on that were taking center stage outside her little cuteness in this little skit here. She also had issue with her relationship this season, relationship with Stefan Diggs, which was really crazy because you guys know they've been prancing around. But apparently Stefan did some grimy stuff where he brought his baby mama to the event. Like, I mean, come on. And apparently, I don't know. And then apparently, his best friend was there too. I'm not sure of the situation. So basically, it's one of two things. I don't know if the best friend is the baby mama or what, but I think the baby mama was there. I heard that. That, and she had tickets somewhere near, but not like with the family. And then I heard the best friend, who is a girl who slept with Offset during Cardi's marriage, was in the front seat, in the front aisle next to the mama, and all red, devil in red. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? Paint the town red type vibe, looking really good. And that's apparently Stefan Diggs' best friend. And then they said that that Cardi girl put that hoodoo voodoo, that bruja on him, and the rest is history. We know who won. It was not the Patriots. So don't mess with them Dominican girls. Don't mess with us girls, like us African girls. Don't mess with us. Like I'm Black American, but you know, I got the soul of dad. My mother say soul of dad. I got the soul of my dad. I got the soul of dad. That's powerful. You don't mess with them type of girls. Them girls who are connected to the I am, the connected to the source. Whoo! It is, and that's the thing. What Cardi say, God don't play about me. As much crap as she get into she always gets out because she literally is connected, right? And you can feel it. Like that's why her good always shines her bad. And we beat her up in the media, but she didn't really do nothing but fall in love with the wrong people and not use her discernment in terms of love, which is very much a Libra trait. If you guys know Libras, excuse me, they're the people of the scale, so they never learn their lesson in terms of like how people treat them. They want just, so they feel like, yeah, like people don't understand how she can be with a guys with all these baby mamas and stuff. She sees the world as just, so she sees it as like, I'll be the one to even the scale for them, right? And not realizing that sometimes that scale could tip and not in your favor. So she's just a lover girl, certified lover girl, that just kind of picks the wrong, has the wrong picker. But in terms of who she is and what she's done and what she's accomplished, she ain't really all that bad. She didn't do too much to my knowledge. Y'all probably know way more than me, but to my knowledge, she don't really get into no mess. Mess just come to her. So I don't know, I like Cardi, but I'm wishing her all the best. Definitely was proud to see her out there in them Bad Bunny streets. So that was fun. Next up, I wanted to talk quickly about Michelle Obama. Just kind of, her whole name has been in the news recently because the girl has come through the ashes, because the black girls on TikTok and Twitter and everything, they're trying to get her to um replace Melania in the #1 spot. Hi V Style. Hey girl, hey. Let me let you guys hear her, because she is talking about Michelle Obama and what the black women are going to be doing this year in terms of like how we're boycotting Netflix. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let her talk.
My husband and I canceled our Netflix subscription, and I want to be clear on why. In the midst of all of this viral attention, I really sat with this moment and I asked myself, how did we get here? And how did I become the leader of this moment? And am I making the right decision? Some people asked, is all of this really necessary, or is a boycott on Netflix really necessary? So let's walk through it. When Becoming hit the top 10, that wasn't just our opinion, that was viewer demand. People showed up, the numbers were clear, and Netflix saw it. If charts are purely data driven, Becoming would have remained exactly where viewers placed it. Instead, we saw reclassification, reframing, and reduced visibility. And this matters because the response itself proves the pressure worked. Netflix noticed, they responded, they just didn't concede.
They just didn't concede. Do you hear me though? Netflix heard it, they saw it, they just didn't concede. If you don't know what's going on right now, she's essentially talking about Michelle, the like numbers, and they were saying that Michelle Obama documentary surged 13,000%. You know how crazy that is? And then Netflix played around. They played in our face so hard to the point where we didn't know where the video was. It was in the kids section instead of being in the adult section. It was also mentioned that she like when you searched for the actual movie, it would not come up. It was in the #8 spot at one point, and then it went up to the #6 spot, and then it disappeared off the top 10 list because people were trying to, you know, like just be kind of cute with it, like have Michelle Obama's movie go number one while Melania's documentary came out, which I looked it up. They said Melania's documentary is the greatest documentary to be top 10 in the history in the last 10 years. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But what documentaries were out that were non-music related in the last 10 years? And when I asked ChatGPT last night, it was like, we don't know. We don't have that information. So what are you comparing? Next to nothing. So if there was no non-musical documentaries that came out in the last 10 years, what are we comparing it to? What is a 100%? What is number one next to nothing? Number one. So of course she's gonna be the number one documentary in the last 10 years. There's been no damn non-musical documentaries. So then I looked up to see how much money did Taylor Swift, how much money did Beyonce's documentary make? It made like 7 point something million dollars. And Melania's like barely scratched the surface, like of like a million. So it really, they're kind of trying to make it seem like it did better than it did because they're comparing it against nothing. So of course it's number one against nothing. But yeah, so the girls are really upset with Netflix. I canceled my subscription. My last day to like watch anything is February 23rd. And so I've been streaming Nothing But Becoming. And I suggest you to do too, because if they want to be on the naughty list, like Target, like Starbucks, like the rest of them, they can be. If they want to play in our faces, they gonna learn today not to play with us 92%, not to play with the 78% black men, not to play with the 92% black women. Because at this point, you guys are literally messing up your own bag. Like you guys, we talked about this earlier, the black eyeballs. You guys know how we are when we come on these platforms. We're watching TV, we're home, we're not in the mess. That's why we watch TV so much. It's like a hit of dopamine for us. Like, okay, we have to deal with the stressors of the world. So then when we come back home, we just want to relax, relate, release, relax, relate, release. You know? So that's why a lot of black people end up watching TV and things like that, because it's like a hit of dopamine from the realities of our real world. But if you guys want to mess that up over at Netflix, it's your funeral. And that's how I see that. So, you know, my whole thing is, my favorite quote is, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Right? That leads me next to my next little video that I got going on, which is, there was a video of I don't know the guy's name, but I'm gonna show you the video. And I just saw it yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I gotta play this for my people. Thank you, V-Star, for subbing. Thank you. I'm having a good life, good wife, good life. You know how it go. So just trying to be present in my life. I feel like I've always been a very present girl. Like my whole life, I've been like the life of the party. I always used to call. I'm a Jersey girl, so I used to say I'm my best friend, real tall. I used to always say I'm the black Snooki. She's the black Jay Wow, and just like always like been a fun person. But then, you know, life gets serious when you have children. So I had a baby, I got married, and like my whole world just kind of diverted into that lifestyle. And it's just like been a pleasure to meet and see the same names over and over and get to know the people in my chat, and kind of build my community little by little, because the people who stay when I'm here, when I'm there, when I'm every there, are really the people who have my back. And like they say, when you get on this social media thing, you do realize that the people who root for you the most doesn't necessarily be the ones who you know. It be the complete strangers who are rooting for you the most. And so I love that. I actually love that the people who find me kind of find, you know, he who finds a wife find a good thing. He who find my YouTube channel finds a good thing. It's like I'm like a diamond in the rough. You're like, it's cool that you found me, and I'm glad that you're here. But let's go back to what I was gonna say about the what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul, which is kind of ties into what I'm saying about my situation in my life. And when I saw this, it just resonated with me so heavy. And you know, if you hear it, it'll probably resonate with you too. Let me play it for you.
My thought is, everything has a price. There is not a number that can get you back in that ring. 80 million, 100 million.
Nah, because now you selling your soul.
$100 million, you can have my soul.
That's you. Now we know your character. Sometimes, you know, you look at people and you be like, dang, man, you ain't got no dignity. You ain't got no morals. Like, come on, man. Like, what you gonna stand for if everything is about money?
Period. You feel me? And that's crazy because I didn't even mean for me to tell my story to lead into that story. That just happened. And if you notice, when I talk to you guys, I always say, "Hey MVPs." At least when I used to do these lives consistently, I would start, "Hey MVPs," and that's what I'm trying to get back into. Lately, with these mic drops, we just been jumping into it. But like literally, have here my welcome back, my MVPs. And what MVP means is morals, values, and principles, because that's what we stand on over here. We stand on our morals, our values, and principles, and that's why I call you guys my MVPs. And so when he said that, I don't know why, but it just like it struck a chord for me. It's like now we know your character at the end of the day, because when you have character, when you have soul, when Jimmy got soul, Jimmy got soul, it's what you're connected to in the worldly things are not going to be the things that distract you from the purpose and the power of your life. I said this in a video years ago. I was just watching, like, you know how TikTok reminds you of like old ideas and old memories. It gave me a memory that I said years ago when I said I want people to, when they, come into who they are and they're in their healing process or their shedding process, whatever, wherever you are in life, I want you to focus on not what you are, a wife, a mom, all that stuff, your career. I want you to focus on who you are, a nurturer, a healer, a rebel. What is you? You know how people say, "What is you?" And it's like they talk about your race. But now, when I say, "What is you?" I'm talking about your soul. What is you? Is you a rebel? Is you a healer? Who are you? If we didn't have these structures that we were in and we were back in nature, who would you show up as in the community? Would you be an agriculturalist? Like, who are you at your nature? That's what I want people to identify. So when people meet you, don't say I'm a counselor, I'm a financial person, I'm this, I'm that. Say who you are. I'm a rebel. And you can even laugh a little bit about it. I'm a healer. Say what you are. Oh, I like plants. I'm an agriculturalist. I like water and dolphins. I'm into marine biology. Like, what are you? Who are you? How are you connected to the great I am, into nature? And don't necessarily put it into that for 100K, a million, I sell my soul. No, you won't. Not if you here, you won't. You're not even about that, because we know your character. And if you're here, you are of strong character, of strong mind, of strength. And I just love that. So when I seen that, I was like, that I wanted to bring that to you guys to remember who you are and whose you are. And I'll leave that there. So on a funner, brighter note, we're gonna leave the deep stuff and we're gonna get into Love Island. I love my Love Island. So first up, we have like Nick and Olandria. I just had to show them. There's no purpose. There's just look at the material. That's what we're talking about them. And actually goes into my last post. It's a perfect example of character, right? Your character will precede you. That's what my mom always say. And which means your character is the first thing that people see when they come in the room. And now they'll try to break down that character, that edifice, that building that you created. But the character is a foundation. It's strong. It don't matter how many people hit it, how many, people try to take shots, your character's still gonna show up every single time. And that's what I love about Nick and Olandria. They've been going through it since August, since they got out the villa, honey. And it's quality over quantity. And they don't give us a lot, but when they give, they give. And that's how you have to be. When you show up, just know people are watching, people are seeing. It goes back to the Becoming. That movie came out how many eons ago? 6, 7 years ago? And it's still showing up and showing out. Michelle Obama don't have to do much. She is who she is. She don't have to pretend. And she wasn't the one who was stealing somebody's speech. Melania stole. Let's never forget that Melania stole Michelle Obama's speech verbatim, bar for bar, word for word. Okay, but anyway, I digress. So, Nick, I've been calling him Nicola, Nick Ola. You get it? And I'm a Nico, so I love it. So Nick Ola I just feel like they are like the quintessential couple. Like, look at her. She got the Tims. He got the fitted. What do you call it? The fleece, whatever. They call them something in Jersey. Thermals. They call them thermals. He got the thermal on. Like, they just a cute little couple. And I always said it makes sense because I'm a Jersey girl, but I grew up halftime in Florida. My daddy in Florida, my mama in Jersey. So I was back and forth. That's why I kind of got this southern whatever it is about me. And he a Jacksonville boy. That's what people keep missing. It's what's not clocking to you. If you're from Florida and you from Jacksonville, it would be not a question of why he like black girl, because he's from Jacksonville. He's from Jacksonville. And she from Bama. So it literally is like two southern people, one from like that culture that is like, it's Florida boys. He a Florida boy. Gator. And then she's a Bama girl. It just makes sense. They actually have what each other needs. And people say it's fake, it's pretend. I don't give a goddamn hell. What you selling, Oleandria? What you selling, Nick? The aunties got you, and we're gonna buy it. That's all that matters. So I am so happy to see them out and about at the Super Bowl. They look like they really, really enjoyed their time there. And I was just happy to see them doing their big one. It was just really cute. People be hating, but it was cute. This one actually, I've been watching Love Island All Stars as well. Let me put this picture up. Oh, I'm in the way. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. So this here, I don't know if you guys are familiar with their lore, but this is Whitney and Yemen. So on Love Island All Stars, this is like the black couple. I don't know if you guys are familiar with UK. I've been watching UK since maybe season 10 with Tyreek and Ella. And then I came back. I spent the block and I went back and watched season 8 with Dami and India. So I'm like a Love Island girl. And then I've been watching Love Island USA since season 1. So before it got crazy, before it got all evil and just weird and all that stuff, I was watching these people. So this is Whitney and Yemen. Yemen, what season he in again? Anyway, he was in season 1. I thought he was in season 2 for some reason. But and then Whitney was in season 10 of UK. And they are getting along. And I had posted this picture because if you guys know Whitney was Tyreek High, who was in Love Island Games' best friend. Like her, they were best friends in the villa. And they end up being close friends afterwards. And like she's very feisty. Like only a certain kind of man can deal with her. And Yemen, he got that American like southern thing. I don't know where he's from. Let me look. So yeah, so he's from California. He got that Cali swag about him. Like he don't really take nothing. Like he not gonna take things too personal. And then she takes everything personal. She always got a mouth. She's quick with it. But it works for some reason. And I said right here, I love it because it looks like she's in her black cat energy. And, he's kind of giving, I wouldn't even say he's golden retriever. He's more like pit bull. Like, I just like it. It's like the black cat and the pit bull. You know what I'm saying? Like, rah, rah. I love it. And so she's been having fun. And if you guys know Whitney, she's hard. She's hard. She's hard on the outside, soft on the inside. So the fact that Yemen has her looking like this in her like soft girl era, just like I love it for her. So I've been having fun watching them. This is the cast overall in All Stars. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. We have, can I make it bigger? So we had Shaq, he left. We have Sean, Whitney, Jack. You guys see me looking down. I'm looking at my handy dandy notebook, aka my iPad. We have Millie, who is like the star of the show, and I'm actually shocked that she's like. I'm shocked and I'm not shocked. I'm shocked because like I didn't expect her to come through like that, but she's kind of becoming my favorite of the show. Millie. Then we have Charlie, who was kicked out the first like couple of weeks, and then we have Tommy, who's like he's America's sweetheart, literally. And then we have Belle, who was my bitch. I love her. But then she's like turning into the villain of the show, which is crazy because she's fumbling her bag. Belle, what are you doing? And the reason she's fumbling is because this week she's like, okay, let me go through. And then we have Helena, who was my favorite from last season, my favorite girl. People don't like her. She was like the most hated. But I be liking people like that. Like I just see through that. And then we have Karen, and then we have Leanne. So Leanne is dating is Scott. Scott is not up here. He's one of the bombshells that came in. Um but he came in later and he ended up couple up. He came in pretty early, like right after this, like the first maybe that night. Like he came in early and he started dating the black girl at the end, Leanne, the girl in the pink, all the way at the end up here. And so they were just hitting off. It was such a cute, like kiki couple. Like I was just really feeling their situation. And then recently, whenever a new bombshell comes in, Scott has been very interesting. If you guys know Scott, he's been on every damn Love Island ever. So the fact that he's already a professional Love Islander, it made it seem like he was really in love with this Leanne girl. And then of course, you know how they do black girls in the UK, they really didn't regard her feelings, and every bombshell that came in he decided to go couple up with, which was kind of aggy because I was like, we were rooting for you. And then Belle, who is actually her best friend and was like crying the whole time about what was going on with Scott to her, is now pursuing Scott. Whole time Belle is with this boy over here with the red shorts, Sean. She was with him. And there's another bombshell who's not pictured here named Leanne. She came into the building as a bombshell, and she took Sean away from Belle. Belle is the one in the orange, right? And so she took Sean away from Belle, and Belle raised all the hell. And so now Belle is doing the same thing to the girl in pink, Leanne, the black girl in pink, that was done to her. So she's being hypocritical. And not only that, she was being so mean to the bombshell who came in, don't even know her like that, and took Sean, which that's the bombshell's job, versus this girl Leanne, who she's been best friends with since obviously they died. You see, they even close to each other on the cover. Just a hypocrite. So, the UK is the UK. You know how they do melanated folk over there. So the black girls are just kind of just taking it. They take it over there. It's not like American black girls. Where they can kind of talk back and smack back. Even though black girls get a lot of backlash, they got a lot of black American fans to kind of soften the blow, if that makes sense, like Olandria. But in the UK, they don't have black fans to like soften that blow. It's not enough of them. So they get it really harshly. So people are rooting for Belle to take Leanne's man. And I think that's just so wrong. And people are kind of trying to villainize Leanne, which I don't like. But there are some level-headed people who understand the situation and also think that Belle is being a hypocrite. So tonight on Love Island, it's gonna get juicy, and I cannot wait. I might come to y'all tomorrow from the car. We do our car little drop and tell y'all what happened, because I think because Belle was putting it on Dick last night to Scott. And I don't know, I think Scott gonna fold. Kalani folds. I think, yeah. So we'll see. But I was rooting for Leanne and Scott because even up until last night, they had such good banter, they call it in the UK, and they had just such good vibes with one another. And I just thought they would be like a cute little couple. So I'm kind of sad that what happened with them, but it is what it is. And then last but not least, I had asked Twitter who they think was going home next. So this is a bombshell. This is the original boys, Jack. And then this is the new bombshell, Carrington. And they kind of are similar in fumbling these girls. And they should be doing better than they are. But they're not. So I asked Twitter last night who they think would be the better option for staying in the villa. As of last night, it was like, it wasn't even close. Look what they have. So I said, if Carrington stays in the house, this is Carrington, by the way. I said, if he stays in the house, it's just because he fine. I said, who do y'all pick? Who are y'all picking in the UK? Because I'm in Jersey. We can't vote over here in the US, which I think is unfair because we get the show 2 days after it aired to the UK, so we can't vote. But I said, who are y'all voting for? Overwhelmingly, they're voting for Carrington. Actually, this is 2 days. This is 2 days ago. Let me see where it is now. Hold on. Let me see. 86.8. So still overwhelmingly Carrington. So that just shows you that this is Carrington. So that just shows you that the UK is really liking Carrington. And I love, like, recently, if you notice, they had Helena, who's his couple, who's a couple with him. And Helena is the one right here in the, what color does she have on? The red next to the Leanne girl I was telling y'all about. She got the red bathing suit, the little white girl with blonde hair. She's coupled up with him right now. And Helena's like one of my favorite girly pops. I just think I always knew she had a sweetheart. People are seeing it now. I'm a real good judge of character. People are finally seeing it like, oh, she's really, really sweet. And I've been trying to tell y'all she's a sweet girl. She's had a hard time, like her season because she was in love with a dumb dodo bird. But anyway, she's with that guy Carrington. But yeah, her season, she was in love with like the worst kind of guy, like the Harrys. He's like really, really funny. You know, them type of guys that make you laugh. You probably really want to give them the chance on the outside, like, or like outside of like a vacation or a trip or things like that. You know, them type of boys you meet somewhere, like at an event, at a conference, those or camp, back in the day, camp. Or like, but in the grown-up days, like we would go to a conference for the weekend or vacation, and they're like cool guys, but you would never like take them to your real life. And that's how I think what happened with Helena and Harry. Like they got real well inside the villa, but he played so many games with her. Like when I tell you every which way, that it ended up villainizing her because people were like, "Girl, get a clue." But I kind of knew she was sweet. And I knew she was just like being a dummy. And this year, she is showing herself to be like quite the fan favorite, sweetest girl. I don't think she's gonna win by far. She might make it top 5, just because people like her. But yeah, I've been enjoying watching Love Island. It's my remember that dopamine hit that I say when we leave the real world and we come on and where our black eyeballs go. My black eyeballs have been going to Love Island All Stars UK. And I like it better than US right now. And I used to love US season 6, especially when the girls the PPG, that was the original like viral girls. But I kind of miss USA before the virality of it all because we had the KK with Soul Ties is crazy, and we had Justine with Jack. Oh no, what's her guy named Jack too? I don't remember how her guy was, but we had Justine who was like just so beautiful, like a little black Barbie doll, and it was just like fun. It was like lighthearted and fun. We had Bergie and that girl, I forgot Zeta, I think he was with. Just it was like more innocent. And then like season 6 happened, and that's when y'all got Rob, Traders Rob, which I love Rob and I love Leah, and obviously Serena the winner, and Janae and the gang, right? And Cordell. But it changed the trajectory of the American show into like almost Jerry Springer-ish. Like just took it somewhere. I don't like where it at now. And then season 7, the infamous boom, 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 boom. Season 7 happened, and y'all know season 7 was just it was low. It was low. Use hand just to send reactions on the phone call. Okay. All right. Smartphone. Y'all doing too much. These smartphones, every hand movement, they monitoring like because I just went like boom, boom, boom. They're like, oh, did you mean to do this? Da-da-da-da. So, all right. Hey, my family's here. So I'm gonna go. But thank you for joining me in today's episode of Get This Girl a Mic. I had so much fun on this live with you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Nico Nicole, and this is Give This Girl a Mic. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye.